Hello friends, and welcome to this video where we're going to be looking at a very special little synthesizer. It's the MAYER EMI Vibes. This was sent to me by their global distribution to dive deep into. I've had it now a couple of weeks, and today we're going to be controlling it with these two controllers that plug right into the back. And we're going to be looking at the workflow, the idea behind it, and everything we're going to do today is actually going to be running off of the sequencer that is part of the Vibes, which is kind of like an emulation of what you expect from a looping workflow, for example, on Ableton. So let's have a listen first. Let me take you into this first sound, which is actually a sample, as you can hear, of something that is like an orchestra or something along those lines with some voices. Let's have a listen. And now let me show you how fun it is to control this setup using these controllers. So yeah, there's a lot to unpack here. So let me take you through this a bit. So this is the company behind this synthesizer. It's a company from Austria, led by Horst Mayer, who I've been having a lot of chats with to better understand his creation. And yeah, what they've done here is really quite unique. So what you're seeing here is the bigger one. I think it's called the M900. And the little one is the one that we're working with today, which is the Vibes. So let me give you a quick overview over the device so you have an idea of what's going on, because there's a lot to unpack here. So what we've been listening to is basically 4 parts, which you can see up here, which are 4 synth voices. And the special thing about this synthesizer is that it's completely stereo in its signal path. So from beginning to end, you can do super wide stuff. It's not just that you add a stereo delay at the end of something or a reverb at the end of something. But on top of that, there is also a sampler inside made for drum sequencing. So if I go on here, I can actually see, for example, on the clip launcher, I can open my drums parts, and there you can see that all the notes that I'm going to be using in this session for this beat in the background of this demo track is running inside this clip launcher. And the cool thing is that the way I'm controlling this is actually very close to how I also work with my Rapid Flow template, which is using faders that you can see on the desk here, the way they're assigned. The first 4 are assigned to the synth voices right here. And in the back here, I have my drums assigned. So let me bring in the frequencies and I'll be able to show you. As you can see, I'm able to interact with this standalone little kind of live set running on this multi-timbral synthesizer with these controllers, and basically able to just build a live set with this box and these controllers. And the samples that I'm using are Rapid Flow samples, so they're already mastered, which is of course, you know, why they have the punch that you're hearing. But everything else is just coming straight out of the Vibe. So let me show you a quick overview of, for example, the bass line that I made on it. That again is running on the onboard sequencer. Let me give you a listen to it. And yeah, it's super easy then to bring in other parts. So let me add this little chord stab, which is running on the beginning here, which is this sine perk. And if I load the mixer, you'll be able to see what happens when I bring up faders. add another sound. So I think you start to get the picture of just how powerful this device is, and the things you can do with it. It's like a full DAW workflow in a box. And I mean, I'm just showing you the tip of the iceberg here, because I'm going to do a couple more videos where I show you the whole workflow and more in depth also of how you actually can connect this thing to Wi-Fi. Let me show you. This is the bit that really blew my mind. So right now, this device is on my Wi-Fi network, and I can head on over to my browser, and let me show you this. Over here, basically, is now my access to the Vibes, and I can go in here, and for example, all the samples that I used in order to have my drum sounds on board were put by me into this drum kit here called RF Kit, and you have to follow a certain convention so that the device knows how to look for stuff with filters. But for example, here is a kick that I just dropped in here, and it gets synchronized over through the Vibes via Wi-Fi. And the same I did with the MIDI sequences. So if I go in here into MIDI files, you can see this is all the MIDI files that I generated to use on this session. And yeah, you drop them in there and they magically get transferred through the wonders of technology to a place where you can actually go in here and load them into your clip player. And then actually what I'm forgetting to show you is if I go back to the controller here, of course, you have, what you're used to if you're working with a DAW is you can also use these clips on the APC Mini to launch start and stop stuff. So let's say I want to bring in my kick, and instead of the way I was doing it now, I want to do it with my clip controller. So I want to stop it. So yeah, it's like having it all in a dedicated box. And there's a few other really cool things like that I should tell you about. Is it also has 2 external MIDI tracks, so that you can send MIDI to obviously external devices. And then let me show you where they are on the device. They're basically there. And another cool thing that I figured out that you can do is you can also connect external pedal, for example, or actually you can also bring in external circles, but you can connect, for example, a reverb pedal on the headphone output, and it has a dedicated audio input, and then you can actually use that headphone in out to do an effects loop via the mixer, so that you can send something, for example, to the headphone out. You can see it right there, pre or post fade, and bring that in on your input effect part of the mixer. So it's massively powerful. And what I haven't really touched base upon, I think, which is the thing that is the reason why actually to me this was the most exciting part of using this device, there's something really special about the way it sounds. And there's really cool presets on it from various people, amongst them also Limbic Bits, which is one of my favorite sound designers at the moment. And if you've seen a recent stream of mine, I was doing a live stream, and I was playing bass notes out of this, and everything was super wide and really nice and really fat, and like I was just getting a vibe going, and all of a sudden the little vase that you see up there just vibrated down off of my speaker, which is something that has never happened in the 6 months that I've been in the speaker. And then I was checking the signal analyzer, and I realized that it goes down to like 5 hertz, like without any kind of reservations, and it was causing the speakers to vibrate so much that this thing fell down. So as you can see, like this one right now is on, what is it, like 40, 50 hertz. So let me show you how deep it can go. you see how like here at 20 hertz, it's just like there's still this massive amount of energy and dynamics. This would be interesting to test a festival sound system with. It goes down in a way that I haven't seen a synth like that go down. I mean, look how low you can pitch the bass note on it. So maybe to summarize a bit, because I'm getting carried away, like I could talk about this for an hour here. Who is this for? What's the let's say the usability here? And I think this is super interesting for people that want to have, I mean, I hate to say it, but like basically Ableton or Bitwig in a box that they can take with them, have a loop-based workflow that has an input for external sound. So basically like a DAW-less setup where you can load in samples that you use for drums. You can load in longer samples like you heard with the strings on that sound. And you can have everything in a little box in front of you that has the comfort that you don't have to do everything on the little screen, but you can actually, I mean, it's a touchscreen and it's awesome and you can do all kinds of super cool stuff with it. But if, like me, you want to have, you know, a bit easier access to it, you can actually just go to this browser workflow and check out the video I'm going to link where I show you what's coming with this, because I had a sneak preview that I'm going to show you of it also, and it's very, very cool. Yeah, what the guys at MAYER EMI have planned for this. So I think it's a synthesizer platform that's really going to grow in the future, and that's going to offer a lot of really interesting possibilities to kind of bridge the gap between hardware and software, DAW-driven kind of, you know, computer-driven music production. And the way that I can imagine myself using it is using Ableton or Bitwig to create all the sequences and the ideas while triggering it as basically a synthesizer, 4-part multi-timbral synthesizer. When I have everything set up, just dump everything over to the Vibes, and then I can take it with me and, you know, take it to a gig, take it to a holiday, take it whatever, and have like a totally standalone synthesizer that, as Limbic Bits put it in his video, is like a synthesizer sound designer's dream, because it can do a lot of cool stuff with wavetables and samples and whatnot. So I hope this gives you a bit of an idea of, yeah, of how massively powerful this platform is, how cool it is to mess around with. And I'm gonna actually bring in my controllers onto this picture so that you can have a look at both in real time. Gonna jam with this a little bit, and I'll see you on the next video. Have a good one. Bye-bye.